In this video, we're going to learn how to solve quadratic equations by factoring. A quadratic equation is simply an equation where the highest power of x is 2. We'll start with equations missing a constant, move to those missing the middle term, then master full quadratic equations, and finally tackle the trap equations, the ones you have to rearrange first. Let's start with quadratic equations missing a constant. Let's look at this example. Solve 4x squared plus 12x equals 0 by factoring. In this equation, you'll notice there is no constant term. So our first step is to factor out the greatest common factor. To do that, we bring the greatest common factors outside the parenthesis and leave the uncommon factors inside the parenthesis. Let's start with the numbers. We find the greatest common factor of the 4 and 12. That's the biggest number that can divide both 4 and 12 without a remainder. That number is 4. So we factor it out. Now, we divide the numbers by the greatest common factor. We divide the 4 by 4 to get 1. Then we divide the 12 by 4 to get 3. Next, we work on the x. For letters, the GCF is the letter with the smallest exponent. Here, we have x exponent 2 and x. We know that x is the same as x exponent 1. Since x exponent 1 is the smallest, we will factor it out. Once we factor it out, we can remove it from here. So this will have no x term. We then subtract the exponent 1 from this. X exponent 2 minus 1 is x exponent 1, which is simply x. So the expression becomes 4x times x plus 3 equals 0. Now we apply the zero product property. It states that if two expressions multiply together and the result is 0, then at least one of them must be 0. In this equation, we have 4x multiplied by x plus 3 equals 0. This means that either 4x equals 0 or x plus 3 equals 0. Now, we solve for x in each equation. For 4x equals 0, divide both sides by 4. The 4 cancels out. 0 over 4 is 0, so x equals 0. For x plus 3 equals 0. Subtract 3 from both sides. This cancels out. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. So x equals negative 3. Therefore, our final answer is x equals 0 and x equals negative 3. Let's try another example. Solve the quadratic equation 6x squared minus 15x equals 0 by factoring. This is similar to the previous example. First, we want to bring the greatest common factors outside the parenthesis and leave the uncommon factors inside the parenthesis. We start with the numbers. The greatest common factor of 6 and 15 is 3. That's the largest number that divides both without a remainder. So we factor out 3. Now we divide the numbers by the greatest common factor. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Next for the x, the GCF is the one with the smallest exponent. Here, we have x exponent 2 and x exponent 1. Since x exponent 1 is the smallest, we will factor it out. So this will have no x term. We then subtract the exponent 1 from this. X exponent 2 minus 1 is x exponent 1, which is simply x. So the expression becomes 3x times 2x minus 5 equals 0. Now to solve, we can set either 3x equals 0 or 2x minus 5 equals 0. Then we solve for x in both equations. For 3x equals 0, divide both sides by 3. The 3 cancels out. 0 over 3 is 0, so x equals 0. For 2x minus 5 equals 0. First, we add 5 to both sides. The 5 cancels out. 0 plus 5 is 5. Next, divide both sides by 2. The 2 cancels out. Since 5 cannot be divided evenly by 2, we leave it as 5 over 2. So x equals 5 over 2. Therefore, our final answers are x equals 0 or x equals 5 over 2.
Real quick before we move on, if you want unlimited practice and all the lessons you need to pass any algebra test, you have to check out the Ultimate Algebra course. We cover every topic from scratch with multiple examples and unlimited practice quizzes to ensure you master each concept and are ready to pass with ease. Click the link in the description to check it out. Okay, let's get back to the lesson.
Now let's look at quadratic equations missing the middle term. Suppose we have x squared minus 100 equals 0. Let's solve it by factoring. Notice there's no middle term. Also, this is a difference of two squares. Whenever we have one squared term minus another squared term, we can factor it as a plus b times a minus b. Note that this type of factoring only works when the sign is minus. So for this equation, the first step is to recognize that 100 can be written as 10 squared. We can now rewrite the equation as x squared minus 10 squared equals 0. Now we apply the difference of two squares to factor it. We will have x plus 10 times x minus 10 equals 0. We said that for this equation to be equal to 0, it means either x plus 10 equals 0 or x minus 10 equals 0. Next, we solve for x in both equations. For x plus 10 equals 0, subtract 10 from both sides. The 10 cancels out. 0 minus 10 is negative 10, so x equals negative 10. For x minus 10 equals 0, add 10 to both sides. This cancels out. 0 plus 10 is 10, so x equals 10. Therefore, our final answers are x equals negative 10 or x equals 10. Let's try another example. Solve the quadratic equation 3x squared minus 75 equals 0 by factoring. At first glance, this doesn't look like a difference of two squares because both terms are not perfect squares. So the first step is to check for a greatest common factor. Since we've already learned how to factor using the GCF, I won't go into too much detail here. If you need a refresher, please watch that part again. The GCF of 3 and 75 is 3. That's the largest number that divides both without a remainder. Since the x isn't common to both terms, we only factor out 3. Next, divide both terms by 3. That gives us 3 times x squared minus 25. Now, look at what's inside the parentheses, x squared minus 25. We can rewrite that as x squared minus 5 squared. So now we do have a difference of two squares. We keep the 3 on the outside and factor the inside as x plus 5 times x minus 5 equals 0. To solve for x, we focus on the parts with the variable. Since 3 can't be 0, either x plus 5 equals 0 or x minus 5 equals 0. Next, we solve both equations. For x plus 5 equals 0, subtract 5 from both sides. The 5 cancels out. 0 minus 5 is negative 5, so x equals negative 5. For x minus 5 equals 0, add 5 to both sides. This cancels out. 0 plus 5 is 5, so x equals 5. Therefore, our final answers are x equals negative 5 or x equals 5. So far, we've looked at how to solve quadratic equations missing a constant and those missing the middle term. But what if the equation isn't missing any terms at all? When we have all three, the squared term, the middle term, and the constant. We call it a trinomial. How do we handle those cases? We're going to start with the simplest version, where the leading coefficient is 1. Let's look at an example. Solve the quadratic equation. X squared plus 7x plus 10 equals 0. Here, we have a trinomial. Also, you will notice there is no number in front of the x squared. In math, we say the coefficient of x squared is 1. When the leading coefficient is 1, your goal is to find two numbers that multiply to give you the constant, in this case 10. At the same time, those same two numbers must also add up to give you the coefficient of x, which is 7. This takes some trial and error, depending mainly on how good your multiplication is. The two numbers will be 2 and 5. 2 times 5 gives 10. 2 plus 5 gives 7. So we factor the equation as x plus 2 times x plus 5 equals 0. Now we set each factor equal to 0 and solve. First, solve x plus 2 equals 0. That gives us x equals negative 2. Next, solve x plus 5 equals 0. That gives us x equals negative 5. Therefore, our final answers are x equals negative 2 or x equals negative 5. Let's try one more example. We're solving x squared minus 11x plus 24 equals 0. Notice this is a trinomial with no number written in front of the x squared. That means the leading coefficient is 1. So we need to find two numbers that multiply to give the constant, positive 24. Those same two numbers must also add up to give you the coefficient of x, which is negative 11. The two numbers are negative 3 and negative 8. Negative 3 times negative 8 is positive 24. Negative 3 plus negative 8 is negative 11. So we factor the equation as x minus 3 times x minus 8 equals 0. Now, we set each factor equal to 0. First, solve x minus 3 equals 0. That gives us x equals 3. Next, solve x minus 8 equals 0. That gives us x equals 8. Therefore, our final answers are x equals 3 or x equals 8. Now let's look at how to handle cases where there is a number in front of the x squared. Solve 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 equals 0. This is still a trinomial. The difference now is that the coefficient of the x squared is not 1, or simply put, this kind has a number in front of the x squared. Here, that number is 2. In cases like this, the first step is to multiply the coefficient of x squared, which is 2, by the constant 3. That gives us 6. Next, we need to find two numbers that multiply to 6 and add up to 7. The two numbers are 6 and 1, because 6 times 1 is 6, and 6 plus 1 is 7. Now we replace this 7x with the two values. So the equation becomes 2x squared plus 6x plus x plus 3 equals 0. Next, we group two terms each and factor the common terms in each group. For the first two terms, 2x is common to both. So, we can factor 2x out. That leaves us with x plus 3. For the last two terms, we can factor 1 out. That leaves us with x plus 3. Note that what is in the parenthesis will always be the same for both groups. If you get different values, you're doing something wrong. Now, bring what is in the parenthesis, x plus 3 times what is outside. That's 2x plus 1 equals 0. Next, we set each factor equal to 0. For x plus 3 equals 0. We solve for x to get x equals negative 3. For 2x plus 1 equals 0. We solve for x to get negative 1 over 2. Therefore, our final answers are x equals negative 3 or x equals negative 1 over 2. Let's try another example. Solve 6x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Since the coefficient of the x squared is not 1, our first step will be to multiply the coefficient, 6, by the constant, negative 6. That gives us negative 36. Next, we need to find two numbers that multiply to negative 36 and add up to negative 5. The two numbers are negative 9 and positive 4. Negative 9 times 4 is negative 36. And negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. Now we replace this negative 5x with the two values. So the equation becomes 6x squared plus 4x minus 9x minus 6 equals 0. Next, we group two terms each and factor the common terms in each group. For the first two terms, 2x is common to both. So we can factor 2x out. That leaves us with 3x plus 2. For the last two terms, we can factor negative 3 out. That leaves us with 3x plus 2. Note that what is in the parenthesis will always be the same for both groups. If you get different values, you're doing something wrong. Now bring what is in the parenthesis, 3x plus 2, times what is outside. That's 2x minus 3 equals 0. Next, we set each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. For 3x plus 2 equals 0, we solve for x to get x equals negative 2 over 3. For 2x minus 3 equals 0, we solve for x to get 3 over 2. Therefore, our final answers are x equals negative 2 over 3 or x equals 3 over 2. So far, every quadratic equation we've solved has already been set equal to 0. But what happens when it's not? Let's try this example. Solve x squared minus 2x equals 15. Now, here's the trap. Some students try to factor right away, but we can't do that yet. Before factoring, the equation must equal 0. So the first step is to move all the terms to one side of the equation, leaving 0 on the other side. Here, we have to move the 15. We can do that by subtracting 15 from both sides. 15 minus 15 is 0. So the equation becomes x squared minus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Now we can see we have a trinomial with no number in front of the x squared. All we have to do is find two numbers that multiply to give us the constant negative 15. Those two numbers must also add to get the coefficient of the x, which is negative 2. The two numbers are negative 5 and positive 3. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15, and negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. So we factor the equation as x plus 3 times x minus 5 equals 0. Next, we set each factor equal to 0. First, solve x plus 3 equals 0. That gives us x equals negative 3. Next, solve x minus 5 equals 0. That gives us x equals 5. Therefore, our final answers are x equals negative 3 or x equals 5.
Don't forget to get the full Ultimate Algebra course with the link in the description or pinned comment. This will be the best thing you've done to improve your algebra and pass your next test. Thank you.